Hey there, how's it going? If you're watching this the day it's released, the third annual VimJam starts in just 2 days. The jam starts Friday, September 9th and runs for 10 days ending on Monday the 19th. This will give you 2 full weeks to work on your game as well as the time during the week in between, with a goal that you shouldn't need to grind too much to make a fun game. The focus of the jam is multi-use, which means some elements of the game need to be considered multi-use. This could be items that are used multiple times or in multiple ways, events, mechanics, and so much more. In the announcement video, I asked you to share some examples, and here are some to think about. The most common suggestion were weapons that double as movement options, which is a great way to think about something that's multi-use. It works for both attacking and getting you places where you couldn't get before. Synergistic ideas also work well. For instance, anything that crafts or combines, the ingredients can be used in multiple recipes. And the tried and true example of keys from games like The Binding of Isaac or Enter the Gungeon, where you only have a limited number and you need to choose whether to use them on chests, shops, or something else. The main thing the focus is for is to make us think about the elements and mechanics we're adding to our designs, and how to use them in the most dynamic ways possible. So basically, as long as you can justify how your game fits multi-use, you're all set. To go along with this, I want to give my standard tips for doing well in game jams. These are my top 5 things to keep in mind while taking part in any game jam. Number 1. Make it short. When players sit down to rate game jam games, they want to play more than one game in a sitting. Plan for playtime to be around 10 to 15 minutes max for the players to experience your game. In a jam, it's much better to leave the player wanting more than to go for too long and have the game get boring or repetitive. Number 2. Make it simple. During a jam, there's usually not time to create an in-game tutorial to teach the player complex mechanics. And let's be real, no one wants to read a couple paragraphs to understand how to play your game. Focus on 1 or 2 core mechanics and really flesh them out. This will also help a lot with scope creep to keep your project from ballooning as the time goes on. Number 3. Make it easy. There are people that will be playing your game with all sorts of skill levels and experience. You can't expect everyone to have the same muscle memory or knowledge that you have. Think of the game more like a demo that you want the player to make it to the end of. This will help with your ratings as well as making sure that players get to see all of the cool stuff that you've made. Number 4 is a rough one for some, but make it pretty. As much as we may not like it, visuals matter. They're the first interaction anyone will have with your game, especially your cover image on itch. For VimJam, you're allowed to use assets from sites like itch and opengameart.org. Just make sure that you credit the creator. Or if you don't want to use pre-made assets, you can take a more graphic approach and use basic shapes with a nice color palette. Lowspec.com is a great resource for palettes. And finally, number 5, make it rested. The jam isn't 10 days for you to spend the whole time working. I like to suggest that you scope the same way you would for a 48-hour game jam. Then you're able to spread out the work however you like that best fits your life. And if you finish early, you've now got time to add polish and playtest. I've personally really been feeling the effects of grinding game jams lately, so I want to encourage everyone to stay healthy and enjoy the jam and not go overboard. Once again, these are the things that I highly suggest you keep in mind during the jam. After the jam, if you'd like to get your game played, both myself and RetroIndieJosh from 8-Bits to Infinity will be live streaming playing games from the jam and giving feedback. Josh will stream Saturday, September 24th from 1 to 6 ET over at twitch.tv/RetroIndieJosh. I've taken a week off from my day job and I'll be streaming Monday the 19th to Friday the 23rd, 12 p.m. to around 5 p.m. PDT. So come hang out and see all the cool things people have made over at twitch.tv/Vimlark. Both myself and 8-Bits to Infinity have a Discord server where you can share your progress and talk with others taking part in the jam. Links to everything you need are in the description box below. Best of luck in the jam, and I'll see you back here for the theme announcement on September 9th. Be sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss the release. Please stay safe and be good to each other, and I'll talk with you soon. Later.